Hello, here we are with the KenoshaRising Community Voices series, and we're very happy to be hosting another conversation with another leader and visionary of our community. So my name is Amy Greil. I'm currently serving as the chair of the City of Kenosha Commission on the Arts. We're very happy to be involved with a strategic planning process called the Kenosha Creative Economy Strategic Plan. And as part of that planning process, we wanted to bring in interviews and information from our community's leaders and visionaries. So here we are. I'm going to introduce my colleague Kristin Krowe, who is serving as our qualitative data collaborator, and she will kick off some of the questions.
All right. Hi, I'm once again Kristin Krowe, and I'm a senior at the University of Wisconsin-Parkside. I'm a communication major, and I am working with Amy because I have an interest in qualitative data analysis for future careers. Of course, I'm an advocate for the creative economy. All right, so we'll start with asking Don some questions.
Yeah.
All right, so could you tell us a little bit about your business, Fusion?
Well, my name's Don Miller, and I formed the Kenosha Performing Arts Association about 2.5 years ago. That organization runs the location that we're in now, which is called Fusion, which is primarily a performing arts center, but we do a lot of community sort of activities as well at this location, and a large variety of things, and we even do art too. So it is kind of a creative space for performing arts, essentially.
Yeah, like multi-uses, would
Pretty
you
much,
say?
yeah,
I mean,
very,
so
very
what
multi.
are some of the features that
Well,
you have?
we as you can see, we're sitting on a sound stage right now, and this stage can handle live performances of music, theater, improv. We do a large variety of that sort of thing. We also have recitals. We've had school recitals here. We've had presentations. We also had the District 2 Meet the Candidates here, which was a very successful event. It was a community event where people got to ask questions. So it's kind of a forum or a place where people can have a variety of different things.
And certainly your video production
equipment
is
we do
really
video
remarkable.
production, and we also stream it. We have the capability of streaming and recording. So that's one of the big things that we want to do, to try to expose different artists to a larger audience, per se, than just the people in the audience. And our hope is to build that up into a more of a regional and hopefully, if we can, a national level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds exciting.
So why specifically do you consider yourself a creative?
Well, I'm a creative in a couple of different ways. I guess I'm a musician, and that's my personal creativity. I don't really do any sort of art, of drawing and that sort of thing. But I've always been involved in the performing arts, so I wanted a place or a space where it would be focusing the arts and not just being, let's say, noise in the corner like you would have at a local bar sort of thing. So to really, put the spotlight on the artists, be able to record them, video-wise and audio-wise, for their purposes, for promotion, and also to build up the visibility. And I think really the visibility not only for this space, but also the visibility of Kenosha in general, because I think bringing that to the community, it can be very powerful in a lot of different ways.
So it's almost like internal marketing, like letting people know that are here what's kind of going on within their own community.
Yes, and that's been, in my experience, the biggest struggle. I mean, we've only been around for 2.5 years, but the struggle is actually getting the word out and getting people to tune in. Today, there's so many different ways. I mean, everybody's got a cell phone, everybody's got an iPad or a computer, and they can just dial into whatever they want. You've got 1,000 TV channels on your satellite or cable, and it's hard to compete with that. But I think getting it to where, people know each other and they'd be able to see it, it really does help.
Fantastic.
But again, it's really tough trying to get the word out to the right people, and I think Kenosha has that problem in general inside the community and also outside the community, just because of we've changed this. The culture has changed quite a bit in Kenosha.
Sure. So it seems like your creativity really is constantly being applied in this business, like always looking for some new opportunities.
Oh, absolutely.
And finding new solutions, new services or offerings that you can bring to the business. I mean, that's.
Well, we also entertain all sorts of different sorts of live events too. I mean, we're not just saying that we're just going to focus on one thing. If somebody comes to us with an idea, we're happy to see if we can help create that and produce it and make it as professional as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's definitely necessary in order to get the word out, just giving it a chance.
Yep.
What would you say are specific components for the creative economy as a whole?
Well, I'll focus primarily on Kenosha because I think, because that's what I focus on. And again, I think there is a struggle a bit of just trying to get the visibility and the awareness of the culture and the creative community that's going on here. Mm-hmm. As everybody knows, it was essentially a motor city, and there's a lot of industry here, and a lot of people have grown up that way. Their parents grew up that way. Their children have been exposed to that, and they may or may not really understand what's going on or even care potentially. Mm-hmm. I think I see the biggest supporters and the biggest people that are very excited about it are a lot of the people that have not grown up here. Mm-hmm. In many ways, because they've come here for a variation of reasons. I came here because of the harbor originally, but I think a lot of people have been drawn here for economic reasons, and then when they get here, if they come from a large city or other cultural areas, they want that culture. They want to be able to see live music and plays and go to art galleries and go to festivals on the lake or be able to enjoy the natural resources we have. So it's a combination of all those things that I think are the magnet. But I think also trying to get, if people get exposed to it, they're sold. Mm-hmm. Kenosha. But the problem is getting people exposed to it. Because most of the people that I've met, even from the harbor, they come here and they just fall in love with Kenosha because it's like, oh, there's all these things to do and everything else. But
right.
And again, I think a lot of the local people don't take advantage of it. Either they don't want to, or it's not their bag. But that's okay, Mm-hmm. But I think as a community we need to reach out, and that's one of the things that we want to try to do is reach out through the performing arts to bring people here.
Right. So I think what you're saying as far as components of a creative economy would be a sort of general, I guess, awareness and appreciation of what's to offer in our cultural and creative spaces, artistic spaces. I'm hearing that you're saying we need, I guess, an arm that would make things visible, whether it's through marketing, internal.
I really think that's the key. We have a lot of different things going on around here, and the fact is that everybody that wants to know knows, especially that's in the know in this mm-hmm. area. But it's the people that are outside the area. I mean, just look at how different communities in different cities around the lake are promoting themselves with television commercials, Pure Michigan and all these other things that you see. And then it gets you drawn into that. It's like, well, yeah, we're a short it's a short drive from Chicago or Milwaukee. Why don't we just go down there for the day? Mm-hmm. The market, the Kenosha Harbor Market has brought a lot of awareness. They've been working at it a long time, and it's grown up. But some people, they come to the market and they may not hang around. They may, but, trying to get it to where we're all working together to grow this community and make it aware so everybody can
Beautiful.
Benefit and everybody can, be an advocate for everyone else.
Fantastic. So that notion of collaboration among many players, that there's enough here for everyone
Absolutely.
To be successful.
I think the thing that disappoints me sometimes is I think I've been around long enough to see the political struggles with just different cities, the city and different organizations, and everybody's got their own little things that they feel dear to and they may hold close to their heart. But I think really to make it successful, we all have to work together. I mean, the city has its agenda, that's fine, but they need to support and get on board with everything else that's going on too. And just like we need to support everybody else. So I think that's really the key to it. That's what will build a good and strong city.
Excellent. So sort of an alignment of kind of desires, around many people and their particular agendas, but some way where we can all kind of row in the same direction. Yeah,
absolutely. And everybody should check their attitude at the door and really look at the big picture and really find out what is really the best for the community and work forward that way.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the marketing and then working together to market the creative economy itself. Do you have any other ideas for strategies for the creative economy?
Well, I think that's probably the number one point. I think as the downtown develops and it gets redeveloped, I think you're going to have more people migrate to Kenosha because there'll be more job opportunities, and there are a lot more job opportunities even out west towards the airport. But then being able to make sure that those people know that there is a downtown, and not only just a downtown, but there's an uptown and there's other different parts of Kenosha. We've got 100,000 people basically, and it's if you look at it geographically, it stretches a long ways. And I would probably venture to say there's a lot of people that are out in the west, if you're out by the I-94 corridor, that are in their suburban life and doing their suburban things, and they may, and I've seen this already. I've seen people say, "Oh, we went to Milwaukee to see a concert, or we went to Chicago for this, or I went to," and I've said, "Well, there's that kind of stuff going on at downtown Kenosha." I said, "Did you know about it?" And they're like, "No, really?" That's the frustration. It's trying to really bring all of Kenosha County, and also the region to be a focal point for Kenosha.
Right, so that more and more of our folks can actually feel ownership for our own creative economy, our own artists, and really find a way to support our own. Yeah, and
it's not only just the art; it's just the whole culture and just the amenities that we have. Right. I've traveled to the Michigan shores and, gone to some of those cities over there, and they're very vibrant in the summer. There's tons of people on the beach. The downtown is filled with all sorts of, you can buy a T-shirt at every other place you go to. I know we have Kenosha T-shirts around here, but they're kind of far and few between. So I don't think we've really gotten that embracing of that culture.
Particular culture.
Yeah, I think everybody's still thinking, oh, well, when's the engine plant going to come back, or when's somebody else going to have another job opportunity for me, instead of
owning what we have,
taking ownership and then moving forward with it. And I'm sure, and I've seen a lot of different people in the city doing a lot of creative things, and restaurants and galleries, and we've got the Rhodey Theater, we've got a couple of brew pubs. All those things all together just help a vibrant culture.
Beautiful. So I think it also goes without saying, but I'll say it, is that Don also has a boat, and he's talking about the shores because he's actually a sailor. You want to speak to that? As a creative, what does that mean for you?
Well, I just think, I've always been drawn to water. I grew up on a lake in Wisconsin, and I just need to be around water, and this is a great place to be. And it's like icing on the cake for me, because I live downtown. I live in the condominiums down there, and my kids are all grown. So I have a boat, and then I have Fusion, and I also own a business which helps fund Fusion and the Kenosha Performing Arts Association, or at least to get it started.
Sure.
It's pretty sustainable now. It's kind of holding its own, but we're still trying to build it up to where we can reach out to push people's buttons to come see shows and things. So I don't know. I think it's a great place to live. It just is frustrating sometimes to try to really, you want to come up and just shake some people and say, hey, get to downtown, get to different parts of the community and see what it's like.
Fantastic. Well, all right. I think that is really valuable information, perspectives that you've got here, Don, and we just really want to express how appreciative we are for this space, because you've continually, time and time again, offered it up to different community events and activities. It is truly a shared use space, and everyone that you allow here recognizes how special it is. So I certainly wish you very much
thank you very
success.
much. I mean, we've it's gotten to the point where people walk in and it's when they first experience it, they're just they're very excited about it, and we want to keep that excitement up, to where people come back. And I just had a guy in here the other night. He's lived here, and this is the first time I've been in here. And I'm coming back, and it's like, well, that's great, and it's just trying to get that out, and just trying to get different things going on here all the time to just keep it kind of a little hub of creativity. We even have some artists come in and just in the evening and just draw and paint. Some people just grab a guitar off the wall and come in and just play a few songs, even if it's not a formal event per se. So
wonderful. I think you're adding so much to our downtown, and I look forward to seeing what you're doing next. So thank you, Don.
We're pretty busy.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.